track temperature's decreasing. It's now 31 Celsius.
Oh, Jesus.
And everyone, hello, welcome to round 4 at Suzuka of the Abruzzi Prototype Challenge Championship. So kind of getting to the meaty end of the championship. Last three rounds with Imola next week, and then a 2-week break or a week break, and then Silverstone 300 kilometers at the end. So yeah, I mean, overall the racing has been pretty good. Obviously, we had some issues at Algarve, but it was, again, a bit better at Watkins Glen with the circuit a bit wider and less technical. Suzuka, as I'm sure you're aware, is kind of a bit more of an old school track. It's narrower, there's technical bits, and kind of the first sector, certainly if you're a GTP car following an LMP3, you might have to be a bit patient through the S's. But yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be as bad as Algarve, I'm hoping. Anyway, I'll run through the fundamentals. Obviously, you should all be pretty much up to speed with this by now. But yeah, after this, you will have your 3-lap, 10-minute lone qualifying. It is a short parade lap. You can't change that at Suzuka anyway. With your then hour race with 1 fast repair, 20 incident points before a drive-through, then 10 incident points after that. You have your 1 fast repair. And just to flag that when the results for this are posted to SimGrid, I will implement the drop round. So kind of as of this round, the drop round will show on. You do also get a point for your fastest lap, which is all classes, Pro and Am in both classes. And just remember, as I always say, that the classes are scored separately within your car classes. So if you're LMP3 Pro, you're not racing against the AMs in terms of points. Obviously, there will always be overlap, especially at different circuits where people are better at some circuits than others. But just remember that you're not actually fighting for points. At the start of the race, reminder that please go on green. That is both classes. And also for the LMP3s to leave a gap. It will mean that you will probably be going through the chicane when it goes green, or maybe just coming out of it. So just be careful of that. But GTPs, please, nice controlled speed by the pole sitter. It's been really good so far. It looks so much better on the broadcast than just one driver gunning it out of the last chicane, for example, at this track. So yeah, please keep that up. As always, this is run under Race with Respect. Not that we've had any issues so far, but a reminder, if you do receive any form of abuse or anything inappropriate via DM or in the chat, then please do let me know and we will deal with it. On track racing, so yeah, it's, as always, treat each other with respect, give each other room and be patient. You know, it is an endurance race. Yes, it's an hour, but it's a pit stop. You don't have to rush anything. You've got 1 move to defend. You can move back towards the racing line, but you need to leave a car width if somebody is there. No late lunging. You need to be alongside at the point of turn-in and under control. None of this first person to the apex, even if I'm not going to make the corner malarkey. Reactive blocking is a big no-no. So if somebody's got to run on you down a straight, don't wait for them to move before you block, and decide which side you're going to go, whether that's inside or outside. And they get a run on you, then they can get alongside and you can try and beat them through the corner. Dangerous or out of control driving obviously is unacceptable and is protestable, and causing a collision, either just racing or certainly through rejoins, is protestable as well. So yeah, rejoins, if you're off the track or if you've spun and stayed on the track, it is up to you to get going safely. It's not up to everybody else to avoid you. Please hold your brakes once you've spun so you don't then slew back across the track. Yeah, GTPs, obviously your tyres are super cold for the first couple of laps. That's why we asked for a gap to be left by the LMP3s at the start. But please do bear that in mind when you're overtaking LMP3s. Certainly, if you have a pit stop and you end up behind them, just bear in mind that they probably won't be any slower than you through the corners. So much easier to overtake on the straights or laps on the straights. Incident protest, you have up to an hour after the end of the race to submit any protests using the link in the usual place.
The track temperature is falling. It's now
we will
28
issue
Celsius.
Results and penalties, etc. tomorrow as per usual. Right. Anybody got any questions? Jacob, Jenna, can we LMPVs aim to go on the back straight? I mean, if the pole sitter wants to leave that much of a gap, you can. I can't dictate that. So if you want to leave a big gap, if you're the pole sitter, that's kind of up to you. But obviously, we really don't want you to be stationary at the start. We don't want it to be a standing start. Out of line penalty. Yeah, I mean, obviously, he wasn't able to continue. But anything like that we can do. But obviously, if it is a jump start, then it's a jump start. So we can look at that. The drop round is implemented at the end of the season, but obviously it's just your worst round. It's automatic. So if this is your worst round, it will be your drop round. If your next round is the worst round, it will automatically drop. It's just whatever your lowest scoring round is. It's just not showing at the minute, basically. Hopefully that clears that up. But yeah, any other questions, please feel free to DM me or at me in driver chat. Okay, that is about it then. Thank you very much, and good luck. Have fun, as they say.
Okay, Ben, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. That's 2 minutes left, 2 minutes.
30分後に登録を終了いたします。まだ登録してない方は登録室にお入りください。登録は30分後で終了いたします。迷子になったお子様へのお知らせです。登録室でスマートカードにお子様を
Checkered flag, P5.
花子ちゃんの両親が、保護者の方は少しリスクしてください。
That's the end of the session, P5. Alright Ben, we've got 3 laps to get the job done, mate. The track temp's increasing, it's now 32 Celsius.
Green flag. Fucking gas pedal. Sleepy Joe. The leader has just done a 147.8. P2, you're now 2.5 off the leader's pace.
Watch the track limits, please, Ben.
You've got about 2 laps of fuel.
P4.
You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
Two litres remaining.
All right, there's the checkered flag.
That's the end of the session. Pole position. Nice one.
One to go next time by. Line up on the right side. Closed. Pit road is closed.
90 seconds. Sixty seconds. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. 60 minutes. You've got cold tyres. We need to get some heat into them. Okay, rolling start. Stay in the pole row in the right column. The safety car speed is 88 kilometers per hour.
Catch the pace car. Get ready. Going green. Catch the pace car.
Okay, Ben, nice and neat. Stay out of trouble. Floor it.
Green flag. Fucking gas pedal. Sleepy Joe. Left side. Clear on the left.
Good start. The gap to Christian behind is increasing. It's now 0.9. Stay between the lines, please, Ben. The gap to Christian behind is now 1.9. You're leading. Okay, Ben, your refuel window will open on lap 13. It'll close on lap 21. The gap behind is now 2.5. guy behind has just done a 147.8. The gap behind is now 2.8 seconds. The gap to Christian behind is now 3.6 seconds. We're setting the pace. Your lap time was 147.5. Your times are good in all three sectors. The gap to Christian behind is now 4.9. Slower class car ahead. Coming up on a slower class car. Your last lap time was a 1:47.7. You're a tenth off the pace in sector 2. The gap behind is now 6.0. The gap to P2 behind is now 7.1 seconds. Slower class car ahead. Alright Ben, you've used half your fuel. You're coming up on a slower car. The gap to Christian behind is now 8.1. That lap was a 148.0. Good consistency, keep them coming. Slower class car ahead. We're currently setting the pace. The gap to Christian behind is increasing. It's now 9.2 seconds. There's an incident in Degna 2. You're coming up on a slower class car. Coming up on a slower class car. Okay, Ben, the next car is 2 laps behind.
Right side, clear on the right.
The gap behind is now 10 seconds. We've just cut the track. Coming up on some slower cars. These guys are fighting for position, the class leaders in this group. The gap to Christian behind is now 10 seconds. Okay, Ben, we've gone out of track limits. Keep it between the lines.
Okay Ben, pit window is open. You're coming up on a slower car. The gap behind is now 10 seconds. We expect there'll be no traffic on exit. When we leave the pits, we think we'll be in P8. Okay Ben, you got about 4 laps of fuel left. That was 148.0. Christian behind is pitting. Christian behind is pitting. Okay Ben, half distance. We estimate 3 laps of fuel left. The gap to Costio behind is increasing. It's now 13 seconds. The next car is 1 lap behind.
Car on your left. Clear.
Two laps of fuel remaining.
You've got about 2 laps of fuel left.
The gap to Costio behind is increasing. It's now 15 seconds. There's an incident in the hairpin. You're coming up on a slower class car. You've only got enough fuel for this lap. Your lap times are improving. Costio behind is pitting now.
You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
Litres left. In this lap, box this lap please, Ben. One litre remaining. What's your speed limit in the pits? The pit lane speed limit is 80 kilometers per hour. You should have plenty of space on the exit. When we exit the pits, we'll be in P1.
5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Front right, 67%. Rear right, 72.
Now get out of here and quit disappointing me.
There's traffic approaching. Watch your mirrors. Cold tyres all round. Slower class car ahead.
Car on your left. Clear.
Christian is gaining on you. The gap's now 13 seconds. .20 minutes remaining, you've got 20 minutes left. Incident in Degna 2. It looks like it's Hobbs. The stewards have warned us for cutting the track. Keep it between the white lines. The gap behind is now 12 seconds. Slower car ahead, it's their class leader. gap to P2 behind is increasing. It's now 15 seconds. Okay Ben, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes. The car in front is 2 laps behind. We're quickest at the moment. There's an incident in second S's. Your lap times are pretty consistent. We've been warned about track limits. The gap behind is now 17 seconds. Slower class car ahead. Alright Ben, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up. The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 27 Celsius. Slower cars ahead. These guys will be fighting for position. They might not see you.
Left side, clear on the left. Left side, clear on the left.
The gap to P2 behind is now 18 seconds.
Alright Ben, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left. That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel. The gap to P2 behind is increasing. It's now 19 seconds. Slower class car ahead. We've had a cut warning. Keep it tidy, please, Ben.
Left side. Clear. Left side. Clear.
Slower class car ahead. Okay Ben, you're coming up on some slower cars. These guys are busy fighting, they might not notice you. That lap time was 1:47.4. 5 minutes left. Come on, keep your shit together. We can win this. You've just done a 148.3. Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
One more lap to win.
Come on, Ben, last lap. Keep your shit together, you're not home yet. You've just done a 147.6.
You have about 2 laps of fuel left.
Track limits, watch those lines. Slower class car ahead. Well done, Ben. Great win. You deserved that today.
You won. You just earned a spot on Trump Force One.
Not bad.